I just watched the best horror fest type movie that I think I have ever seen, maybe of all time, but it is definitely the best one that you have most likely never seen because, like with this list of movies that I'm giving you, they never tell you about this one and nobody talks about it or reviews it. Now, this movie falls in line with movie like Hellfest, which got a lot of attention and I actually didn't think was that great. Haunt is another one of those movies that got a ton of attention and a lot of people like it. And I personally, it was decent, it was okay. But I wanted to bring you one that is in that same exact vein, came out in the same year as Hellfest, and it's the poor forgotten child in that one. And that movie is Bloodfest. Now, Bloodfest is a comedy horror. It is very self aware. It does that whole scream shtick where everybody knows what's going on. And it does it in a good way so that it's more fun. And the whole movie itself is very enjoyable. There's not a whole lot of dull moments. It's just one of those movies where you pop yourself a bag of popcorn, you kick up your feet, and you just enjoy the show. And it's only like an hour and a half, so it's not going to kill your runtime, so it doesn't have a chance to really ever die off and get bored. But the story here is we're going to be following three friends as they attend what's called Bloodfest. And Bloodfest is a 700-acre farmland where they have set up all these different areas throughout this 700 acres that mimic horror scenarios or horror movies. So you have a whole cemetery area for zombies. You have what's called Clown Town. They have a torture area. They have a little bit of everything in this movie, and that's what kind of makes it fun. Is you're not just stuck to just one type of slasher going around killing people or a group of people just in masks that are killing people. You do get zombies. Werewolves are in this. Vampires. Clowns. You have the arborist, which is kind of like a Michael Myers or Jason type slasher that kind of had way too many movies, but the guy's still there. You get a whole section with dolls. You even get a nice doll section mixed in with a Saw-ish type reference. And then you do get the blood and gore that you're hoping for in this movie called Bloodfest. I do think the movie was shot very, very well. Like, for being an unknown movie, it is a very nice production. And everything looks good. They did some great, great details when they're showing you kind of the different areas, or you see like the signs with the arrows pointing to all the different towns. Like, they put in extra details for a movie that seems like it's probably a lower budget film because you don't know any of the people in this movie that are acting besides Krill. The guy who plays Krill is the same guy who plays Ned in the Spider-Man series. So he's probably your biggest name actor, and he's kind of your comedic relief, and it does play on all the horror movie tropes. And so you go to this Bloodfest, and at the kickoff, there's a guy telling you how horror has gone to shit. It used to be this great thing. Not everybody was involved in horror or loving it. It was something that was just for us freaks out there. You know, it was actually horrific, and he's about to make that happen again. So, the guy who's talking in this moment is actually the guy who wrote and directed the film as well, and he does play kind of the bad guy in this movie for the most part. So you do see him on screen, and he's very animated. Like I said, everybody is fun. And the acting that is in the movie from all the characters is fun. But you follow these 4 to 5 people around, and they go into different areas throughout this. And they play it obviously very, very smart because the main character, Dax, he is a horror movie enthusiast. When he was a kid, he watched them with his mom, and he watched his mom get murdered. I didn't get to see the murder, but she died, and he saw the guy who killed him, and then his dad shot the guy. And his escape, I guess, to kind of deal with this and cope with it was to watch horror movies because that stuff's not real, but it would help him in his process of dealing with his mom. So he knows all the rules of this horror, and what they're doing here at Bloodfest is they have all this stuff set up but they're going to kill everybody for a film. So it kind of puts you in that spot where, since all of you people love horror movies so much, why don't you go out and try to survive one? Maybe you'll make it to the end. All you got to do is follow the rules and the tropes of horror. And they do this throughout different areas. I mean, right in the beginning, it kicks off. There is bloodshed everywhere. There is some really sick, awesome kills. And there is a character that's dressed up just like the guy who killed Dax's mom. So that person has this really sharp blade, but it kind of like extends and stretches out. It reminds me of Scorpion from Mortal Kombat. Get over here! That kind of thing. So that guy's character, that's a really good character, does some awesome kills in the beginning, and then you have like a bunch of pigs wearing with chainsaws. They're pig masks, but they have chainsaws. You see them stabbing people with a chainsaw. You see them slice literally right down the middle of somebody. It just blood spraying everywhere. There is just so much bloodshed. And then you kind of get into the died down, but we get to explore the different areas. And you get to see what's going on. It does have kind of a cabin in the woods feel to it, which is a very popular movie. But nobody ever talks about this one. I feel bad for it. That's why I want to mention it to you guys. So as the story goes along, you know, they do see different areas. There's different things that happen and stuff like that. And then obviously there is going to be a twist or surprise ending like we get in all this self-aware referential type horror. I'm not going to go into any details about that because, like I said, this is a recommendation. I think you guys should go out and see this movie. It is very, very good. Like I said, I feel like this is the best fest type movie that has came out. Definitely in a long time. But like for people who loved Haunt, I feel like this one is, for me, it edges a little bit above Haunt because of how fun it is. And when I compared it to Hellfest, I just thought this movie was way better than Hellfest. Hellfest did not have blood and gore. It did not have scares like I wanted. To me, when I went and seen that movie, I was just so disappointed. But then now watching this movie, I was like, this is exactly what you wanted in this genre. It's fun. It's exciting. There's not a ton of scares, but there's a lot of tropiness. There's a lot of blood, gore, carnage, and it just doesn't get boring. And the ending is okay in a sense. Like, I don't know where they could have gone to make the ending even better. But the ending is kind of paint by numbers, what you would expect. And it does not really subvert expectations. So let me know in the comments. Have you seen Bloodfest? Is it a movie you like? If not, why? Why didn't you like this movie? Please tell me. I'd like to know. Until the next one, guys, don't forget to subscribe. Hit the like button if you want to see more of these hidden gems that nobody ever tells us about. And until the next one, rest in peace.